Are you guys ready for some professional tips that will be extremely beneficial for you in catching large numbers? Well, get ready. Welcome back to the channels, fellas. And whether you're an ADC trapper doing this full time, or if you're just a part-time trapper helping out with depredation, I've got it covered for you today. Or should I say, these guys have it covered for you today. So, over the past few days, I've been collaborating with some professional trappers, guys that catch very large numbers. And I would like to first off introduce you to the first guy that's going to be talking today. His name's Tommy Bryant. And Tommy is a full-time trapper who makes a living off this heritage. Tommy catches large numbers of 400 to 500 canine a year. And the 500 might be a stretch, but I think that's what he's trying to achieve this year. So he has got some very knowledgeable experience and information for you in this. Now, before we get too far into it, I would like to say that there's going to be more information down in the description. So if you go down into the description, I'll have more information on these guys, whether it's their channels or their website. So let's get into it.
I guess one of the biggest things I can contribute large number of catches to, I'm located in the southeast, so we get a lot of rain. You need to keep sets working. Whatever you have to do, whether it's the properties you're on, kind of move them around to certain parts of the year. But for us, deer season and weather play the two biggest factors in trying to keep stuff working. A lot of people, they'll have great weather October, November, then the weather goes bad and they pull traps or they can't keep them working. The dirt hole is probably 75% used here in the South by most trappers. So when you start getting a lot of rain, the dirt hole's pretty ineffective or either a lot of maintenance, one of the two. For me, I like to switch over to flat sets and stuff that will weather the rain. You can still use dirt holes. You just need to figure out how to keep it drained and how to keep it working. But here in the South, we have deer season. So there's certain farms I can get on during deer season and certain ones I can't. So I try to set up my route where I have the most property available to me during deer season so I can continue through that weather in December until our deer season ends. And then, everything pretty much opens up and you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go. But for me, it's keeping sets working, keeping a game plan together, knowing what you're doing, always put new traps out every day. If it's not but a handful, just keep your line rotated and keep sets working. That is the number one factor. A lot of people will set traps and they'll get some weather on top of them. They'll get lazy. They won't get out. They won't remake those sets. And those sets just are not as productive as when they first put them in, just simply because they've been rained on. Their tractor's full of water, or the mud has covered it, or the trap's half washed out. Regardless of what it is, just keep those sets working, and you'll be better off. Hope y'all have a great season. Talk to you later.
Don't worry, fellas. We're just getting warmed up. Next up, I have Mark Charpentier, who is going to dive in and give you 5 more beneficial tips on your trap line and how to catch predators or large numbers. Now, Mark is also a professional trapper who runs an ADC business and makes a living from his heritage. Mark also has a YouTube channel, so you can check that out. He also started the Complete Trapper Facebook group on Facebook. So if you want to swing over when you get the time, go check it out. It's a great group, great for learning and great for asking questions. And if you guys enjoy the outdoors and content like this, it'd mean a lot. And if you could do me a favor, just hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and maybe drop a comment and let these guys know that you're watching this and that you're getting some knowledge from this. So without further ado, let's get back into it.
Hi everyone, this is Mark Charpentier. I was asked to share what I think are some key factors in producing numbers on a trap line. I came up with 5 that I think are very important. Number 1, I think one of the most important factors is you have to have the animals to catch there in the first place. So you have a choice of 1, getting after the animals that are on your local trap line that you have the most of. Or 2, traveling to go to those locations where you can catch the most animals. All right? If you want to catch coyotes, you need to go west, southwest if you want numbers. I always joke about driving through Kansas on my way out to Wyoming and hitting a bump and having a trap fly out the back of my truck. By the time I turned around and come back and could pick the trap up, there was already a coyote in it. And it's just a joke, but it's to just share the fact that you got to be where the numbers of animals are. If you want to trap hundreds and thousands of coon, you need to go to Iowa. If you want to trap big numbers of mink, go to Minnesota. If you want to trap muskrats, go to the prairie potholes of South Dakota. The fact of the matter is you have to trap what's available to you if you want to produce numbers. Key factor number 2 in producing numbers would be to have a system in place with standardized equipment across the board that you can repeat throughout the day. The same traps, the same anchoring, the same trap beds, and you're going to repeat this system over and over. And that's going to go into your sets too. It might be very boring trapping this way, but you're pounding in those same dirt holes, or you're pounding in those flat sets or those T-bones, and you're doing it over and over with muscle memory repeatedly throughout the day. And you're moving from location to location. Key factor number 3 would be creating a plan and then working that plan throughout the year. Whether it be securing permissions, creating your routes, getting all your equipment ready, and then executing that plan when the season comes. And then you have to stick with that plan, where you're going to be and when, and work that plan throughout the year and don't give up on it. Key factor number 4 would be your health, the maintenance of your vehicle and the maintenance of your equipment throughout the season while you're running the line, and even prior to of getting yourself in shape and ready. You want to start your mornings making sure that you're eating healthy, that you're even planning a short break in the middle of the day, maybe even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes to stop and eat some lunch. You're not doing this for just a week or 2. You're out there every day, and this can go on for months. You have to take care of yourself. You have to do the maintenance on your vehicle, whether it's tires and oil. And you also need to make sure that all your equipment is maintained properly and operational. Key factor number 5 is going to be your work ethic. None of the others are going to matter if you aren't willing to get out of bed early morning, go all day, and finish up late. If you're not willing to put in those extra sets every day. The goal is to create as many trap nights as possible with the amount of time that you have available. This is only accomplished through really hard work, and that will allow you to keep your traps functioning. You must have a trap that's always operating, whether it's through rising or lowering water conditions, or freeze, rain, or snow. That only gets accomplished with hard work. And that's pretty easy to do for the first week or 2 of the season that you're out there. But once you start getting into month 2 and you get into month 3, before you know it, you're going to have to give yourself those pep talks. And you're going to have to make yourself put in that extra set at the end of the day. Good luck to all of you, and I hope that these 5 tips help you produce more numbers on your line.
Just wanted to say thank you guys for doing that collab with me and dropping some knowledge. And fellas, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Those guys were gracious enough to take time out of their day and do a video and send it over to me and collaborate with me. And I'm honored to be able to put this together, and that way I can share it with everyone so you have this knowledge at your fingertips. And like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you thought, those 2 guys just dropping some truth bombs with a little bit of tips was it, stay tuned, because the next video that's going to drop, I've got 2 more guys coming on, and they're going to be dropping some more truth, and they're going to be giving you some more tips that are going to help you catch, and maybe you don't want to catch large numbers, but it's going to help you have the mindset and help you have some different strategies or different things to think about when you're going to be running your line for the upcoming season. And I know we're winding down this year, but a lot of guys are still going to be doing ADC work, and a lot of guys are going to be getting into trapping and starting out. So to have this knowledge, like I said, can't thank those guys enough, and I really appreciate it, fellas. from the bottom of my heart, I really do. So if you wouldn't mind, just leave a comment down below, and you know, maybe ask a question, and maybe these guys can answer it, or maybe I can help you out and answer it. But one takeaway that I got, you know, with all those tips that they were given, is consistency. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to succeed. If you know, you go out and set a few traps on a 100-acre parcel, you don't catch, you know, maybe you have minimal success. Maybe that's all you want. That's fine. But if you want to succeed, you're going to have to be consistent. And consistency and all those tips that they were given. You know, make sure your route's top notch. Make sure you know where you're going. Make sure your equipment's good. Make sure your truck's good. Consistently checking that. Consistently staying on top of all those things. It really is that simple. But like they said, hard work. Nothing beats hard work. So, hey guys, like I said, next video is going to drop. I've got two more gentlemen coming on. I'm not going to give out names yet. I'm going to make it kind of a surprise for you. And I look forward to posting it, and I look forward to your guys' feedback. Take care.